But again, there's another point, another aspect I want to look at it. I mean, ever since President Trump made the threat of invading the country, so to speak, of course, as a military, with my military background, I don't think the invasion is going to be American boots on the ground, but maybe targeted attacks, just like what is happening in Somalia against the Al-Shabaab, missile strikes existing. But ever since that happened, have you noticed the frequency of attacks? Perhaps the bandits trying to dare America. Say, okay.
It's funny you say that. I was actually thinking about that earlier today.
Yeah.
They seem to have upped their ante, have they?
Yeah, I mean, because, look, if the United States should carry out, say, missile strike against this will play into the hands of those insurgents. This is what they want. They want to see the collapse of the Nigerian state. They want to humiliate the government. And the government, of course, seems not to care. And that's why they refuse to act. I mean, I keep on saying for the past 2 years, I have been calling, a lot of other Nigerians have been calling on the government to act. But this seems, I don't know, a lethargy, kind of hesitation. I don't know what.
This week, a former senior army general, Ali-Keffi, made a shocking revelation that could shake the very foundations of Nigeria's fight against terrorism. He exposed claims about a counter-terrorism operation he led, which allegedly uncovered disturbing ties between some of the country's top figures and terror financing. These figures, including former Attorney-General Malami, former Central Bank Governor Emefiele, and former Army Chief Chief Buratai, were reportedly linked to powerful networks involved in funding terrorism. Ali-Keffi shared the details of an operation called Operation Service-Wide, OSW, which had been working to uncover these hidden financial connections. According to him, OSW traced large sums of money flowing through certain businesses, such as bureaus de change, which appeared to serve as fronts for terror financing. These links, however, were not directly to Malami, Emefiele, and Buratai, but rather to their associates, who were allegedly involved in such illegal activities. The investigation reportedly uncovered offshore accounts holding massive amounts of money, in one case, up to $600 million. The shocking part. When OSW finally traced these funds and had evidence to freeze those accounts, an attempt to bribe authorities with a staggering $50 million was allegedly made in order to unfreeze the accounts. But that wasn't the end of it. Despite the clear evidence pointing to these financial activities, the case mysteriously went cold. Ali-Keffi claims he was detained for 64 days, retired from the army, and that the investigation was shut down entirely. All suspects were released, and no further action was taken. This raises serious questions about the powers that be and the deep level of influence in play. Ali-Keffi was quick to point out that he isn't directly accusing Malami, Emefiele, or Buratai of terrorism financing. Rather, his claims focus on the people and networks around them, people with links to suspected financiers of terrorism. But even so, the idea that such powerful individuals might have unknowingly or indirectly been connected to criminal networks raises alarms about the level of accountability in high office. Imagine how deeply this could affect our trust in governance, security forces, and even the judiciary if this issue isn't addressed properly. Nigeria has long struggled with terrorism, especially in the north and in the forest where kidnappers and terrorists often hide. For years, the government has been battling to cut off their financial lifelines, but if these new revelations are true, we're looking at a much deeper issue, one that may involve the very people we trust to safeguard our nation. So, where does this leave us? With serious concerns about transparency, justice, and the real fight against terrorism. If these figures were truly linked to terror financing, does this mean we've been fighting terrorism with one hand tied behind our back? Have the people we've entrusted with running the country been undermining efforts to eliminate terror? It's hard to ignore the possibility that some of the very same people meant to protect us may have been turning a blind eye, or worse, facilitating the destruction of innocent lives for financial gain. At this point, the question is, will the government take action? Will they reopen investigations into the alleged involvement of Malami, Emefiele, Buratai, and others? Can they prove that no one is above the law, no matter how powerful they are? The silence from the government is deafening, and it's clear that Nigerians are waiting for answers. Now, let's talk about what this means for the average citizen. It's not just about corruption in high places, it's about the safety and security of everyday Nigerians. If our leaders are involved in these types of activities, what hope do we have of eradicating terrorism? Every day, families live in fear of kidnappings, bombings, and other forms of violence, and these revelations only add to the uncertainty. If terror financing is indeed connected to influential figures, how can we trust that we are doing everything possible to protect our country? We all know the stakes are high, and the people responsible for keeping us safe need to be held accountable. So, let me ask you, do you believe these allegations? Do you think the government will take this seriously and act on it, or will it be swept under the rug like so many other issues? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think this could change the way Nigerians view their leaders? And let's not forget, the fight against terrorism is not just about the big names, it's about every citizen. It's about holding the government to account, demanding justice, and ensuring that every effort is made to stop the flow of funds that fuel terror. We need to stand united in ensuring that we stop this cycle of violence and prevent any future attacks on innocent Nigerians. Before we wrap up, if you think this issue is important, if you believe we need more transparency, more accountability, and a stronger fight against terror, hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe for more updates. Stay informed. Stay engaged. Share this video with friends, family, and anyone who needs to hear this story. And as always, feel free to drop a comment with your thoughts. Do you think these revelations will lead to real change? Can we trust our leaders to handle this investigation properly, or will it be another case of nothing happening? Thank you for your time, and stay safe. Let's keep pushing for the truth. Stay tuned for more updates.
Nigeria is in shock as authorities release a list of individuals allegedly linked to terrorism financing. Here are the names causing nationwide reactions: Tukur Mamu, Yusuf Ghazali, Muhammad Sani, Abubakar Muhammad, Salamuddin Hassan, Adamu Ishaq, Hassana Oyiza Isa, Abdul Karim Musa, and Umar Abdullahi. Several BDC companies, including Settings BDC, Desert Exchange Ventures, and West and East Africa General Trading, are also under scrutiny. Officials stress these are still allegations, but this marks a major step in tracking